And good evening. We are live with episode 2 here on Dream Career Doctor channel, going live here. And we are in episode 2 of Think and Grow Rich. So hopefully you have watched episode 1 and now we are at episode 2. So hopefully you have done your homework and you are ready now to move on to the next topic, and we're going to break it down a little slower for these next few sessions, but there's still a lot of work to be done. So let's get to it. So, excuse me. All right. Hopefully, you can hear us out there and you are now able to also see our slides. So, we are covering Think and Grow Rich, and we are taking some of the audio, some of the presentations that Napoleon Hill has done, as well as some of the text, and putting it together and merging it to take some action and take some action steps here. So today, our second episode is going to bring us to the following. We are looking at 17 principles. And so we're going to talk about those 17 principles today, and we're just going to take a look at them and actually just see what they are. We won't go through them all specifically, but we will cover one of them today. Okay. The next thing is that the one that we're going to cover is the definite chief aim principle. So we'll spend a little bit of time on that, and then we'll have some action steps to guide us once we leave here today. So 17 principles. So let's talk about these. So these 17 principles as follows here, kind of let's make this a little bigger here so that we can really get focused. All right. So these 17 principles are as follows. You have the definiteness of purpose, right? So you've got the definiteness of purpose. You've got to be for sure. Again, remember, we're trying to think and grow rich. There are certain things that Napoleon Hill has put together that is guiding us on what we should do and what has worked well for other successful, rich, quote unquote, rich people that have been put all into this book and these principles. All right. So, definiteness of purpose, you have to be specific about what that purpose is. The Mastermind Alliance, 2 heads are better than 1. If you're trying to do something by yourself, you're not going to get there faster or in a more effective way. And you're certainly not going to have a more powerful momentum that will get you to wherever you're trying to get. Okay. So applied faith, very, very important. Here is where your spiritualness, your Your not seeing but believing comes into play. Going the extra mile. Like, how often do you hear that in any interview, in any description of certain people? Hopefully it's true. But going the extra mile, all right? And then pleasing personality. People, sometimes we go off of, hey, well, that's just how I am. No, you have to have a pleasing personality, all right? So personal initiative, you have to want it for yourself. And you have to take the steps for yourself. You have a positive mental attitude, which helps PMA. And so you hear that a lot, that positive mental attitude. And hopefully you're seeing a pattern here. So then you'll have the enthusiasm, and then you'll have self-discipline, and we have accurate thinking here. You have to have a controlled attention, which is hard in this, world of ours where we are, a 3 second, 7 second kind of attention span kind of world. But definitely accurate thinking and controlled attention, very, very important. And then teamwork, adversity and defeat. This one, I believe, should probably be a little higher, because you want to make sure that you recognize and understand that this needs to be planned for from the get. Adversity and defeat. You have to be able to create a vision. You have to be able to mind your health. You have to be able to budget time and money. Budget time and money. And then you have to have good habits. All right. So, what we're talking about here is totally not rocket science. And that's the beauty of these principles. This is stuff that you can do. Repeat after me. This is stuff that I can do. You can do this. And it should not feel like it's a stretch to do these things. And once you get to doing them, hopefully it'll become more and more habitual, more and more kind of second nature. So let's get to it, shall we? All right. So there's a definiteness of purpose that is number one, listed by Napoleon Hill. If you don't have this, you can't go very far, right? So here we have that action is the real measure of intelligence. Ho, ho, ho. Who knew that? Who knew that? I want you to repeat after me. This is not about how smart you are, but it's about how quickly, how massive, how definite your steps are, your action. So let that guide you. Okay. So definitely here, what Napoleon Hill basically tells us is, if you do this, if you walk in, if you stay focused, if you do the first steps that I told you to, and if you stay focused and you leave all your problems, all your fears, all of that negative mumbo jumbo, leave it all in somebody else's doorstep, leave it in the canal, leave it in the ditch. Bring your positive purpose, and you will get wherever you want to get to. The opportunities will be for you. You will unlock anything that you need to along the way. All right. So very important here, though, before we leave this slide, this is like a heavy one. If you don't truly define your purpose, if you don't define how ready you are for that purpose, you cannot step forward yet another step. Okay. Let me all right. So I wanted to take a moment. You got to pause sometimes when you want something to sink in. Now, let that sink in. You will not get a step further if you do not acknowledge that you are ready. You have to definitely step into that world of, I want whatever it was that you wrote in your notebook, that you want that and that you're willing to give this. And man, I'm so committed to this because I know that it's for me. You're not going to be able to reach whatever it is that you have placed on that piece of paper. Okay? That makes sense? Yeah, you with me? All right. We can move forward. All right. You have to acknowledge, you have to say, you know what? I'm ready. I'm ready. I'm ready to do this. Okay. All right. So let me know. Let me know, comment, do whatever you need to let me know that you're getting this. All right. So let's go to the next slide. Why don't we? So let's take it a step further. Let's talk about the desire. The desire is so important. You have to decide. You have to write it down. You have to memorize it. You have to just really commit to whatever it is that you want to achieve. Okay. And so once you do that, then certainly you can move forward. You're going to get the master key. You're going to get the master key once you are ready, right? So you have to have a major definition of, and then you have to allow yourself to back up. You have to make it so foolproof that it is imperative, that there is no other choice but to do it. Okay. And so you have to change your language even. Look, we're not wishing and we're not hoping. We have a burning desire to do something. And that something is going to be done and get done, and we are going to do it. Okay? That makes sense? All right. So stay with me now. Stay with me now. Because here comes a very important quote from our good friend, Mr. Napoleon Hill. Whatever the mind can conceive, the mind can conceive and believe the mind can achieve. It will achieve it. So here it is. We're going back to, at the end of the day, it's all in your mind, and you have to have the positive mindset so that you can get whatever it is that you have set your mind to. Okay? All right? Very quick and easy. I mean, here, this is it. I mean, if you want to write this one down, write it down a lot, and repeat it to yourself and remind yourself anytime that you feel like you are moving in another direction. Go ahead and remind yourself. Okay. Now, next thing we have here are the 6 steps of how you're going to do this, how you are going to show your your definite purpose. All right, how you're going to carry it out. So I'm going to, again, kind of make this a little bigger here so that you can see this. So at the end of the day, we're using examples here. And so one of the examples is, okay, let's say you want to be wealthy. All right. And so if you want to be wealthy, then there are 6 steps that are going to hopefully get you there just in this principle here. This is what you need to do. You need to first decide what it is that you specifically want. So if you want to be wealthy, you can't just go and say, well, yeah, I want to be rich. I want to be just so rich, I want all the monies. No, you have to go in and you have to say, well, how much? How much is rich to you? Is it 100,000? Is it 200,000? Is it 300,000? What is it? It might not even be money at all. It might be, hey, I want to have well, my time is my wealth. Okay. So if that's the case, then maybe I want to be able to work 3 days a week. All right. And so you have to decide whatever that desire is and be very, very specific. And so number two, list exactly what you intend to give in return. This goes back to our day one. All right. So that's number two. Number three, give it a date. A goal without a date is a wish. Okay. So you want to make sure that, again, we're not using that language. We're not using wish. We're not using hope. We're not using any of that. We have a burning desire that this is what we want and this is what we're going to do. And so of what's going to get you in motion so that you can get whatever it is that you have set before you. Okay. And then number five, write a clear, concise statement with the amount of money to acquire, the time limit to attain it, and what you will give in return, and a clear plan on what you're going to do to get it. Okay. So 6 steps. These 6 steps should be used for any desire, any want, any plan that you are trying to carry out. So you need all of these pieces. You can't just have the plan and not have exactly the time frame and all of that. So very specific. But before this, remember, the desire is there. You've got to be excited about it. If you're not excited about it, you are not going to get whatever it is that you're trying to get to. So after you have gotten so excited, after you have gotten to the step where you are ready, you have it written down, the next step is you've got to see it. You've got to see yourself in this plan. You've got to visualize yourself already walking in the plan and having the wealth, having the time off, having whatever it is that is set as your desire. Make sure that you close your eyes, you are visualizing it, you are dreaming it, you are making sure that you can even see the people giving you the money, you spending the money. You can see all of these different things that solidify that you are going to get whatever it is that you have set as that desire. That makes sense? Tell me yes or no. Now, come on. Now, hopefully you're doing this. Hopefully write this plan down. And as you're writing it down, just take a step. Get your paper, write whatever it is down, and then say, okay, I've got my 6, I've got my statement. Let me say this statement and let me close my eyes, visualize this statement happening. Visualize. It's like what you probably heard of, the end in mind. You have to operate with the end in mind. And that is what you're doing. You're visualizing that end. You're visualizing you with that 100,000, with that 200,000, with that 300,000. All right. So you have to be very specific about what that visualization is and what it looks like and what it feels like and how excited you are to be there. Okay. Again, whether it's a promotion, whether it's a new job, whatever this desire is, visualize yourself there. Okay. All right. So let's see what else we're sharing today. All right. So again, while you're reading it, see and feel yourself already in possession of whatever it is. All right. Of whatever that is. All right. So I've already said these words, but let me say them again. You want to make sure that you have a burning desire, that you have a burning desire for whatever it is that you're trying to get to. Because if you don't, then you are not going to have the energy. You're not going to have the want, the push to go one step, then two steps, then three steps further. So you want to make sure that you have that burning desire, and it's necessary. It's necessary for that goal. You must believe. And remember that it's not a wish, it's not a hope. It's got to be a burning desire that has momentum. All right. And don't call it a goal, call it this desire. Like, this is my desire, and this is what I'm going to get. And this is I deserve it. Okay. That's why you got that DES in the beginning, because you deserve it. So you make sure that whatever it is, you convince yourself that it's yours. It's yours. Okay. Because we're looking for dreamers here. We need dreamers to believe in it so much that it is already come to fruition, really, that you've already manifested it. And all you have to do is step in it. All you have to do is go live in your dream. Like, it is waiting for you. It's almost like it's a movie set, right? And you're the star. You're the star. You're the star actor. And so they're just waiting for you to come in and step in it, and then just kind of put things in motion. So all achievements, all earned riches have their beginning in an idea. So what's your idea? What's your burning desire? What do you want and know that you can get? So push yourself. Make sure that you are ready to receive whatever your mind is conceiving. Okay? All right. So we're to the end here. Think I've covered just about everything. I want to make sure that, again, you recognize that you need to have a burning desire, right? But at the end of the day, it's all about the 6 steps. Make sure that you follow those 6 steps. Make sure that you have a burning desire. And if you have that burning desire, already you are pulling in with that plan, with the 6 steps, you're pulling in the spiritual forces, the universal forces, the personal forces, the tribal forces. You're pulling in already some of that energy. But we'll continue to talk about that, because you want to make sure that you continue to dream big. Dream big. You're probably not dreaming big enough. I want you to have just an awesome goal that's going to push you and that's going to get you excited. All right. You've got to be excited. You got to be excited about it. And so, again, with those 6 steps, I want you to go back and write those down and get your 6 steps out of the way. Make sure you have that burning desire. That's number 1. Make sure you're visualizing this, okay? Make sure you're going through all of the steps, and make sure you're changing your language, and dream big. Dream big, okay? All right. I'm not asking for much. I know I'm not. All right. So, fear out loud, fail out loud. We want you to succeed. We want you to be successful. And so thank you for joining us, and thank you for watching this second episode. The third episode will come out tomorrow, so they'll be consecutive in that way. And so we'll cover the next principle. But I so appreciate you being here. Make sure that you're following us on LinkedIn, Facebook, Instagram, obviously on YouTube. And please like, subscribe, and share. All right. So please like, subscribe, and share. Okay. So I want you to make sure that you're that you're sharing. Okay. That you're subscribing. All right. That you're doing all of the different things that you can to share this out. Hopefully this is a different format that is appealing to you. Taking it in chunks. I haven't necessarily seen anybody else do this, so I wanted to do a little something different, but something that I know that works. Okay. So Think and Grow Rich, episode 2. We're out of here. We're all done. So thank you for joining me. Again, my name is Susanna Reyes Lee, and I'm the Dream Career Doctor. And it has been a pleasure to share with you pretty much just the first principle, but in our episode 2. So be on the lookout for episode 3. And hopefully we will have, and let me backtrack, we will have success stories to share. So as you're going through this, please tell me how this is working for you. Okay. Email me, message me, do whatever, get in contact with me, and just share. Okay. All right. So have a great evening. I appreciate your time. Bye.